A 17-year-old boy who has admitted to murdering a Pizza Hotline employee in May of 2011 is scheduled to be sentenced today. The teen attacked a 54-year-old employee at the restaurant on Concordia 2 years ago. If sentenced as a youth, he could serve no more than just a few years in prison. Black smoke filled the sky as a North Kildonan home went up in flames yesterday afternoon. The blaze broke out in this 4,000 square foot home on Foxdale Avenue around 3 o'clock. Firefighters first found flames in the attic but were forced out when the fire spread and ceilings started to collapse. The blaze caused $1 million in damage. No one was injured. The cause remains under investigation. A 29-year-old man is charged with impaired driving after a major crash in the city's downtown. It happened just after midnight yesterday. Police say 2 vehicles were stopped on Smith Street at York when the light turned green. They went through, but a van on York struck one of the vehicles, causing it to collide with the other. The driver of the van was arrested nearby and is facing numerous charges. The former chairman of the Public Utilities Board says the province could go bankrupt if Manitoba Hydro continues what he calls reckless spending. Graham Lane says there needs to be an audit and external review of the public utility. He says revenue projections, cost overruns, and demands for Hydro have changed, but fears too much has been invested for the province to back out. Defending its spending, the province says if it doesn't invest and expand capacity, turning on the lights will become a lot more expensive, and claims the province could run out of hydro by 2022. In international news, at least 6 people are dead and 14 injured after a Philadelphia building under demolition collapsed, crashing down onto a Salvation Army thrift store next door. One survivor was pulled out of the rubble last night, 12 hours after the 4-story building's collapse. It's not exactly clear what caused the collapse. An Alberta MP abruptly quit the Conservative caucus last night, citing the government's lack of commitment to transparency. Brent Rathgeber says he stepped down after a committee rewrote his private member's bill designed to expose the salaries of federal civil servants. Meanwhile, British Columbia Premier Christy Clark says she'll run for a spot in the legislature in the riding of West Side Kelowna. Clark lost her own seat to Vancouver Point Grey in the BC election on May 14th. The Liberal seat in West Side Kelowna was won by Ben Stewart, who is voluntarily stepping aside so Clark can run in a by-election expected to be held in mid-July. Governor General David Johnston's trip to Winnipeg continues today. Yesterday, he toured Silo Mission and met with some of the patrons. He also visited Hannah's Place, a 110-bed shelter in the mission, which was established with the help of the Ladybug Foundation. Today, he'll take part in several discussions on Aboriginal education. The City of Winnipeg is giving free parking to Manitoba veterans today to mark the 69th anniversary of D-Day. Any vehicle with a veteran license plate will get a complimentary on-street parking at metered parking spots today. The city says it's part of its commitment to thanking veterans for their sacrifices. The city also gives veterans free parking on Remembrance Day and the anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge on April 9th. Residents of a Transcona personal care home are the recipients of a heartfelt donation. The Alzheimer Society of Manitoba donated 100 touch quilts to people living in the Park Manor personal care home. Officials hope the quilts will bring comfort, happiness, and enjoyment.
The quilts themselves are so warm and comfortable, and they create happiness, and they take away anxiety from people that have them on their laps.
So far, the Alzheimer Society of Manitoba has donated more than 3,500 quilts across the province. We'll have more news at 7 o'clock. Right now, we'll check in with Jeremy.